The Premier League season is starting in a few weeks time, and with that being said, in today's video we're going to be looking at all the home kits for the 2026-27 season. We're going to be looking at every single home kit in alphabetical order, and we're going to be ranking them on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 obviously being shit, with 10 obviously being fantastic. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe down below. We're almost at 11,000 subscribers, and I can't do it without you guys. But without further ado, let's get right into this ranking. The first kit we're going to start off with is Arsenal, and this is actually a very interesting design. Obviously, they went with the majority red colorway as the Arsenal home kit usually is. They have the white sleeves once again, but this time we see obviously the different Adidas template with the different Adidas stripes. They have the darker red and the lighter red, and we also see that unique collar and the unique cuffs around the sleeves with that little red and burgundy red coloring. Obviously, it's a little bit on the plainer side. I would prefer a little bit of design throughout the body of the kit, but I think this is a fairly standard jersey. I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. Moving on to the next jersey, we have Aston Villa, and I don't really like this jersey. I'm gonna be completely honest, guys. It's not a bad jersey. You know, you have that dark burgundy color, you have that lighter blue. I think the colors are nice. I always enjoy this color combination. But this collar, bro, like, what the fuck? Yo, Adidas, what are you guys doing? Why is there this random block in the middle of the collar? I'm telling you guys, if this collar did not have this random blue block right there, this would be 10 times better. It would be at least 3 to 4 ratings higher if it didn't have this random block in the middle of the collar. Honestly, guys, I have OCD. That shit is pissing me off. I'm sorry, that shit is pissing me off. It's not a horrible jersey, but that one detail on the collar, I don't like at all. I'm gonna give this a 3.8 out of 10. I feel like that collar just really ruined it for me. Moving on to B, as we have Bournemouth's new home kit, and guys, I have no idea what Hummel is doing. What's going on? Why have you made this sponsor a big cherry looking circle, and you literally made the stripe go around the circle? What's going on in your head? Guys, if this was just a normal stripe, if it was just a normal stripe, it said Vitality in the middle, it wouldn't be too bad. You know, I still probably wouldn't be the biggest fan, but it wouldn't be too bad. But with this big block sponsor in the middle, and then the stripe going around, guys, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Other than that, I don't mind the kit. I don't mind the gold accents. Obviously, they have the more traditional red and black stripes. I think it looks okay. But that sponsor, that middle of the body, just big sponsor, it's screaming Vitality. This is not good. This is not good. I'm sorry, Bournemouth, but I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10. What are they doing with that sponsor? Moving on to the next kit, we have the Brentford home kit. Now, this is a very interesting kit because Brentford have decided to go with a little bit of small yellow accents. Now, obviously, if we look at recent kits, we sometimes see a little bit of gold, but this time they went for the yellow / gold color around the collar, around the cuffs on the sleeves, and on the side of the kit, but also even around the sponsor, even around the badge. So they've gone with a lot of yellow in this kit. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan, but it's definitely better than some of the kits we've seen so far. Obviously, now the Premier League has banned all the betting sponsorships, so they have gone with an Indeed sponsorship. And to be honest, when I look at this kit, I think it's okay. I think it could have been a lot better. I'm not really the biggest fan of the yellow. I think if it was more just white and red with a little bit of black, it would look better. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10. It's okay, but it is 100% middle of the line, very mid in my opinion. Moving on to the Brighton home kit, and this is very interesting, and for some reason I've been seeing it a lot throughout many different leagues. These pinstripe, almost like baseball looking kits, and I feel like this is a pretty nice jersey. I feel like it's very unique. The Nike collar, I'm not the biggest fan of it. We saw it with a lot of teams at the World Cup, and now bringing it to club football, I'm not the biggest fan, but what I do really like is the simplicity of this kit. I think it's really nice, and to be honest, even if we take a look at the away kit, it's pretty much the exact same kit, just the colors, the white and the blue, are swapped. So the main kit is white, and then it has the blue accents. I don't mind it. I feel like Brighton in recent years, they've been starting to incorporate some yellow on the kit, when now they've gone back to a traditional blue and white kit. I like it better. I think it's a decent jersey. I wouldn't put it as high as Arsenal, but I think it's a pretty nice kit. I would give this a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's too bad. Moving on to the new Chelsea kit. Now, guys, I have a lot of things to say about this kit. Nike, when I first saw the leaks of this kit, I actually didn't mind it. I like how they went with that whole Chelsea logo background type of design throughout the whole body of the kit. I like that. I think it makes this kit more unique. You see that subtle detail throughout the whole kit. I really like that. But what I'm not a big fan of is that yellow coloring on the badge, on the Nike swoosh, on the little Adidas lines throughout the body. I feel like if it was a golden color, I would like it better. It would look more royal. But what I'm seeing right now, it's looking like a yellow color, and I just don't think it looks that good. I think it looks more childish. And obviously Chelsea, once again, they don't have the sponsor like we've been seeing from them every single year over the past few years. They wait till the last second to get a sponsor. So it is also hard to judge this kit because it looks very plain due to the fact that it doesn't currently have a sponsor. But at the end of the day, I think if they went for a more golden color rather than that yellow color, that highlighter yellow, I would have preferred this better. With the yellow, I'm gonna have to give this a 5 out of 10. From initial leaks, I was thinking maybe a 7, but after seeing it officially released, I'm gonna give it a 5. Moving on to the next kit, we have the Coventry City home kit, guys. Obviously, Coventry recently got promoted. They finished first place in the championship with 95 points. And Hummel, I gotta say, I think you guys did a pretty good job with this kit, guys. Now, if you look at Coventry, they usually do use that light blue and that white color. They went for a more traditional blue and white stripes, but we can see all the detail on the kit. In every single stripe, the white and the blue, we see a very unique design. Now, I've actually heard a lot of Coventry fans saying that they don't like this kit because it's not that traditional light blue color. But in my opinion, I think it looks good. And I really like the back of this kit too, because if you look at a lot of other kits that have stripes, on the back of the kit where they have the numbers of the player, the stripes just come to a solid stop. But if you look at the back of this kit, it actually kind of fades into that blue color, which I'm a big fan of. I think it looks much more appealing on the eye, and it's just that small extra detail that Hummel decided to take to make this kit look better. So in my opinion, I think this is actually the best kit we've seen so far. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. I'm a big fan. Moving on to the next kit, we have the Crystal Palace home kit, and this is very, very divided, guys. This is gonna make a lot of people either hate this kit or absolutely love this kit. Macron, you went for such a unique design. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't even know if it's good or bad. I don't even know. It just looks crazy, guys. We see the obviously stripe going down the whole body of the kit. We see a traditional looking Crystal Palace badge, which I'm a big fan of. I think that's a really nice touch. I think it looks good, but I think the stripes going down the shoulders and down the sleeves is a little bit too much. I think it looks a little bit too crazy. I think I would have preferred it if it mainly only had the stripe going down the body and then the sleeves were more plain. I think with the stripes on the sleeves, it's a little bit too crazy in my opinion. Now, it is inspired by the 1976 Crystal Palace home kit, which I'm a big fan of. I love when new kits decide to go and make their kit based off retro designs. I think that's a very, very big plus, and I will give them a couple extra points for that. Like I said, I still think it's a little bit too chaotic, but I actually don't mind this kit. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It's not too bad, but I can definitely understand if you don't like this kit. Moving on to the new Everton home kit, and guys, Castore, once again, I feel like they are underwhelmed with the Everton home kit. I feel like Everton home kits every single year, they always get a similar rating from me. They're okay, you know, it's a nice dark blue color. This year they've added that white and yellow color to the collar and to the cuffs around the sleeves, which I think is a nice touch. But every single year I always ask for more design, a little bit more creativity. But once again, it just looks like a plain blue shirt. Imagine this kit, but they had that Prince Rupert's Tower on the body of the kit, just like they do in the Everton badge. I think that would look incredible. It would add more creativity, it would add more symbolism to the kit, but they always do a plain blue kit. In my opinion, it's a 4.5 out of 10. I don't think there's anything special about it. It could have been worse, but it could have been way better as well. Moving on to the next kit, we have the Fulham home kit, and once again, I feel like they could have done more with this kit. I feel like they could have done more. It's okay, you know, it's a nice black, white and red kit. You see the small red accents, which I do like around the cuffs on the sleeves and around the collar, but it's boring. It's plain. There's no creative. Guys, what happened to the creativity on the kits? You look at kits from the 90s, from the early 2000s, there was such crazy designs, and now you have plain kits like this where it's just boring. I'm sorry, it's just boring. No hate towards Fulham. I love Fulham, but I just think they could have done a lot more with this kit. Once again, I'm gonna have to give it a 5 out of 10. I think they could have done much more, and it's just a little bit too boring. Moving on to Hull City's 2026-27 home kit, and this is a very, very interesting kit, guys. Honestly, some people are gonna hate this kit, but some people are going to absolutely love it. And in my opinion, I think it's a pretty cool kit, guys. Now, this is a kit made by Oxen Sports, guys. Their first time sponsoring a team in the Premier League, and that's very interesting because they've decided to go with a more traditional route to this kit. You look at Hull City's kits recently and you look at this kit, this is a nod to their kits from way back in the 1900s. Specifically, this kit pays homage to their kit from the 1978-79 season, and I feel like it's very different, guys. You don't have the normal Hull City badge, you have the HCAFC. I like it. I think it's unique. I think it's different. I think it looks very retro. I love the big white collar. I love the white cuffs around the sleeves. The stripes are nice. Now, it is a fairly plain kit, but I don't mind it. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Moving on to Ipswich Town's new 2026-27 home kit. And guys, this is what I mean by adding a subtle design to the kit. Why couldn't Everton do this? Why couldn't Fulham do this, guys? But basically what this pattern is supposed to represent is the architectural structures of the Sir Bobby Robson and Sir Alf Ramsey stands. This is what I love. It shows a little bit of history in the kit. It shows a representation in the kit, and it shows you that you took more time, more creativity to design this kit. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's decent. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit of red incorporated into this kit, but I don't mind it at all. It's a decent kit. Moving on to the Leeds United new home kit, guys. And this is a very interesting run because if you look at the design on the kit, it's supposed to be celebrating the 400th anniversary of the City of Leeds Royal Charter. And I think it's a decent design. Obviously, we see the stripes going horizontally across the body. We see it in that blue and yellow color. And obviously, we see the blue Adidas stripes going down the shoulder with the blue and yellow cuffs around the sleeves and the collar. Now, there's a few things I don't like with this kit. First of all, I'm not a big fan of that Red Bull sponsor. I just feel like it's a little bit big and a little bit overpowering. I think it kind of overpowers the shirt. And second of all, guys, I'm just not a big fan of yellow and blue color combination. I just don't think it looks that good together. I don't hate this kit. It's not horrible. I like the meaning behind it, but I think there's a couple things that they could have done better. And for that reason, guys, I can't really give this more than a 6 out of 10. It's not bad, but I think they could have done much, much better. Moving on to the new Liverpool home kit. And guys, I think I have found one of my favorite kits, guys. I'm gonna be completely honest. This kit is mad. They did a crazy job. Hey, Adidas, I like the way you guys are thinking with this, guys. This is what I mean when you're paying homage to a previous design, guys. Now, obviously, if you don't know, this kit is paying homage to a very old kit from the 1989 to 91 season, guys. That kit where they had that candy sponsor, guys. It's one of the most iconic Liverpool kits. And honestly, I think Adidas did a very good job because they did the design well, but they kept it as a modern looking kit. You can see the nice red and white collar, the white Adidas stripes, you know, the white standard chartered sponsor, the Liverpool badge. But what I love is the design, guys. I think the design is absolutely fantastic, just like that classic design. And what I also really like is the design continues on the back of the kit. Nowadays, we see a lot of times the design is only on the front of the kit and the back of the kit is plain. I love it when the design continues to the back of the kit, guys. And I know this may be a simple design. Obviously, they're pretty much just copying their design from over 30 years ago, but I like it. I think it's fantastic. I don't think they could have done it much better. I'm going to give this a 9.2 out of 10. I think this is one of my favorite kits for next season. Moving on to the next kit, we have the Manchester City home kit, guys. And this is a very interesting one because I feel like if you look at Man City kits within the last decade, majority of the time, they are mainly that sky blue color and they have a couple accents, whether that's white accents or blue accents. But this is a very different kit because it's a very plain kit, but throughout the kit, it starts at that sky blue color and then it almost fades into a white color. Now we can also see some other lighter blue accents across the kit, around the collar, around the cuffs, around the sleeves. And I think it looks pretty good. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the gradient, but I feel like how subtle it is makes it much better, guys. It's not like it's completely fading from sky blue to white. It's a very, very subtle gradient. And that's what I really like about this kit. And that's why I think Puma did a good job. I love that silvery color Man City badge. I love the sponsor. I think this is a pretty nice kit, guys. For how plain it is, I think this is probably the best it could have been. So I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe it's just my light blue bias because obviously me being a Napoli fan, I love light blue. but I think this is a pretty nice kit. Moving on to the next kit, we have Manchester United's new 2026-27 home kit. And guys, I'm not a big fan of this kit. I like the type of style they went around the collar, around the cuffs, around the sleeve. I think it almost makes it look like a more old-fashioned kit, but like you guys know, I prefer when it has a little bit more of a design. And once again, guys, Adidas are using that same collar that they did with Aston Villa, where they have that block in the middle. Now, thank God it's in a pretty much same red color as the rest of the kit, so you can't really see it that much. But when you look really closely, that shit pisses me off. So sadly for Man United, I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10. I'm just not really the biggest fan. Moving on to the next kit, we have the Newcastle United new home kit. And oh my gosh, I thought the Crystal Palace kit was busy. This, Adidas, bro, you're taking it to a whole new level, guys. I wonder how many stripes are on this kit. We have big stripes, little stripes, medium stripes, and then back to medium stripes, big stripes. This kit is crazy. It's like my mind can't process what's going on with this kit. You have stripes going this way, stripes going this way, big stripes, little stripes, big stripes, little stripes. This may actually be the worst kit for the 2026-27 Premier League season, guys. I hate this kit. I'm sorry, I hate this kit. It's worse than Aston Villa's kit. I'm gonna give this a 1.3 out of 10. I hate it. Moving on to the next home kit, we have the Nottingham Forest home kit, guys. And this is a very interesting one. If I look at the inspiration, it says that it is inspired by the ethereal mist rising from the River Trent and incorporates a tonal pattern intended to capture the electric energy of the stadium. I don't know if I see it that much. I see what they're trying to go for. I think they could have done a little bit better, guys. It almost looks like a tie-dye shirt. It looks like you kind of mixed light red and dark red in a big bucket and you just splash the jersey inside. I feel like they could have done better. It may be contrary to popular belief. I've heard a lot of people say that this is a pretty nice kit, but in my opinion, I'm just not the biggest fan. I'm gonna have to give this a 4.8 out of 10, just under 5 out of 10. I'm not the biggest fan. Moving on to the next home kit, we have the new Sunderland home kit, guys. And this kit, holy shit. Guys, I was just looking at this kit for a few minutes because when I saw this, I didn't believe that this was the actual kit. I thought this was a kit from the 1990 season or something, guys. This is beautiful. This is absolutely incredible. Now, guys, supposedly it is supposed to pay tribute to their 1937 FA Cup winning side, which I'm a big fan of. But guys, you look at this kit, this is a instant classic. This is stripes done right, guys. You can see the small design going throughout the body of the kit behind the white stripes, which is a very nice touch. It just adds more detail to this kit. You can see the nice collar with the stripes incorporated in the collar. I absolutely love it. Obviously, they have the Hummel logo, they have the Sunderland badge, but the Sunderland badge is a very unique badge. It has almost like a shield, like a crest going around the badge in that black color. Guys, everything about this kit is beautiful. This is exactly the type of kit that I love, guys. This is my type of kit. I might need to buy this. Let's see how much Hummel is pricing it at, because guys, this is a beautiful kit. It looks so traditional. Guys, this is my favorite Premier League kit for next season. This is a 9.5 out of 10. This kit, crazy. And moving on to the last kit, we have the new Tottenham home kit, guys. And Tottenham, I'm not usually a big fan of their kits. You know, usually they just have a plain white kit. They have the red AIA sponsor, and they also have those dark blue accents. But honestly, I think this is probably one of their better kits in recent years, because if you look at throughout the whole body, they have this almost like stripe pattern. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be, but it adds an extra element to this kit that we don't usually see with Tottenham's home kits. I don't mind it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 for a plain kit. That's definitely much higher than you'd normally expect from me. And guys, that is the end of the video where I ranked every single Premier League home kit for the 2026-27 season. Like I said, my favorite was that Sunderland home kit. That's beautiful. There are a few really nice kits. And guys, let me know your ranking of next season's kits in the comments down below. I'll be sure to reply to every single comment, as I always do. And obviously, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see me rank kits from all the other leagues, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for more videos.